Is it really that hard to make a beach?
We'd be giving the enemy another entry point.
And this?
We can always buy some sea salt ice cream. Objects from that town must be kept out of the real world. You can delete that.
So it seems that my comparison to the Matrix wasn't that far off after all. Yes, I'm Solidus-Skully, doing my Christopher Lee voice, which kinda sounds more Tom Baker, and oh look! Flashbacks to Kingdom Hearts 1, and oh, look who it is, it's King Salami Nipples. That can only mean one person's a step behind. Princess Boobs! And, I mean, actually, at time of recording, the Media Nerd released a new episode in The Little Mermaid. So, yeah, go watch that. Because, I'm a fan of the Media Nerd. And he also frequents this channel. He's a pretty cool guy. Subscribe to him now, and, yeah. But, yeah, in any case, seems like the plot's beginning to thicken. Is Roxas inhabiting reality, or is it a cyber world? A Matrix, so to speak. Yes, we all know about you and your Homer Simpson voice, Dan Castellaneta. Please leave us alone. And if so, what does that mean for Roxas? He summoned his Keyblade in a very digital way, but, what does that say about him? And, he, of course, aside from one point later on in the game, that's the one reason why I used the Mushu summon in Kingdom Hearts 1. Not because it was really all that useful when it's all said and done, but instead for story flow. They pointed out here, therefore it is. I don't know. I do find these flashbacks kind of sweet, and once again, as they're slowly filling you in on the events of Kingdom Hearts 1, you know, informing you about what happened in the previous game had you not been around to play it, it does kind of add to the sense of build-up and anticipation, like, yeah, Sora's coming back, we're slowly getting there, and these are his previous adventures, and soon, well, Roxas and Sora are going to meet, but under what circumstances? We'll just have to wait and see.
Instead of worrying about them, you should be asking.
But it does make you wonder, is Diz responsible for flooding these memories of Sora into Roxas's tiny little mind? Or is there something more going on?
Who are you?
Good lord, that's fucking creepy. You know, I brought it up in Chain of Memories, but it goes... Jesus Christ! Good lord, Namine, that's a bit of a spicier meatball. A scarier meatball that scares the Italia out of me. But good lord, I brought it up in Chain of Memories about, again, if Namine was written to be a more sinister character, she could certainly pull it off. There's a certain level of Japanese horror going on with her, and, again, had she not been, a pretty swell dude, well, dudette, I should say, then, yeah. Very different path the series could have taken had she been a villain, but, regardless of such, despite Roxas being broke as fuck and losing the money to a mysteriously disappearing Ansem, because, you know, that's just what you do, and it's time for a game of disappearing Ansems. God, referencing 2009 internet shit just makes me feel ancient. But, anyway. Day 3, and, again, as you can no doubt tell with the plot starting to kick into gear here, it seems like things are about to get a little bit more spiritual. But, that can only mean one thing. A certain memory witch is about to make her appearance. Well, she kinda has already, but you knows what I means.
Hey!
Morning.
Huh?
Hello, Roxas.
Hi. And you are...
I wanted to meet you at least once.
me?
Yes, you.
Olette dragged me along to go shopping.
Hey, you wanna come with us?
Wait. Did you just see that? He's stalling.
Very well then. We'll see you later, Roxas. Okay?
Yeah. Did she go to that haunted mansion? Huh? Let me go!
Hey, chicken wuss.
Who's that?
I don't know, but they've already crossed the line. Find a weapon.
Yeah, sadly you don't get to see any sort of weapon equivalents for, you know, Fu Arai, much to my chagrin. Would have been nice to have some Final Fantasy VIII cameos here and there, but... yeah, another Decipher really. I mean, granted, I don't expect him to have his gunblade, but, yeah, this is pretty much all he's doing. Pointing at the... nobody. Well, I mean, in fairness, it doesn't really seem to be doing much of anything to him, so, I don't know, maybe this version of Cypher is in contact with the Kingdom Hearts Ultimecia? I mean, given that time compression shit, like, I mean, I could see why the straitjacket is a little bit less antsy in the pantsy to mess with it.
Not good.
Roxas! Use the Keyblade!
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It seems we have returned to familiar territory. Welcome home to the Station of Awakening. The centerpiece of the source, so to speak. A representation where Roxas must now make his choice. But where is his heart? And why is he seeing things through the filter of Sora? But again, this is pretty much where you get the same sort of choices you had in Kingdom Hearts 1. You don't get to use the sword or the shield or the staff, unfortunately, since, well, Roxas pretty much already has the Keyblade by default, but, once again, this is pretty much going to be determining, what pathway you take, you know, what your level ups are, and pretty much what you prioritize, whether you, you know, take defense over strength, whether you take magic over, you know, attack or whatever. Again, it's pretty much depending on your playstyle. Again, if you want to be a hack and slash kind of guy, you pretty much go over the sword. You want more MP, which is, well, I mean, at this point in the game, kind of useless. And, not something that Kingdom Hearts 2 really incentivizes, especially for cure magic. But, yeah. I mean, in this playthrough, like the first one, I enjoyed the added defense. I don't know. I enjoyed tanking things and keeping on trucking, like Travis O'Grady from Silent Hill Origins, which probably tells you what review I was working on at this point. You hear? But, yeah, I'll at least give you a look at all of these and, you know, take a good look at the Heartless. And before anybody points it out, yes, I know these, well, I even called them Heartless, so I'm even making mistakes as I attempt to correct my mistakes with the stake. Well done. But, yeah, I know that these nobodies are called Dusks. I call them straitjackets because, really, I don't know, they give off a very Silent Hill kind of vibe to me, and, well, I mean, quite frankly, it's kind of a more fitting name, really, and they kind of behave as such, actually, because, I mean, there's a scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 involving, Haina, actually, and, one of the Dusks, and it's, well, I mean, it fits. What that scene is, you'll just have to find out when we get there, in a couple of years' time. But yeah, this is pretty much where you get to enjoy the spoils of war. Although you probably only feel more of that when you pick the, you know, the attack option, because, well, again, attack obviously makes your attacks a bit more powerful, but at the same time, though, at least in my playthroughs, whenever I've picked the sword in Kingdom Hearts 2, you tend to get very shit defense, and, I don't know, like, I mean, I try going after some of the stuff like, you know, I mean, not even the super bosses like the Lingering Will or Sephiroth or anything. Even just going after some of the game's bosses themselves, it just... I don't know. It was a bit pish, really. But again, since we're kind of out of, you know, Lazy Days slice of life tutorial mode, this is also the first segment of the game where you can legitimately die, so, yeah. Try and keep Roxas alive. It ain't too big of an ask, but, make sure the boy at least survives long enough to see an adulthood. You know, he takes Olette out on a date, asks to marry her, has a couple of kids, enjoys the bonerific fun of the intercourse, and, the existential panic, well, not that he really needs to worry, because now he's going to be suffering existential panic right now. With all the, well, nobodies and spooky, esoteric, existential dread that Kingdom Hearts has to offer in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, much in the same vein as Kingdom Hearts 1 again. You have abilities, you have AP, no tech points this time around, so again, if you're looking to get a bit of extra experience points from enemies and all that, no such thing here. But at the same time, it's also a very small price to pay, because again, you have so many other options to, well, level up, really. Well, I mean, it's pretty much the only real way to do it, but yeah, you're going to be doing a lot in Kingdom Hearts 2, and you will be getting those level ups quite succinctly. And of course, we also have this mysterious voice. Like in the Kingdom Hearts 1, it was implied to be the king who was talking to Sora, but who's talking to Roxas here? Well, I mean, given whose heart we're in right now, I think I might know the answer to that, but it's curious. And again, the reason why there was a bit of a fade-out transition there was because I was basically doing a bit of grinding. Nothing excessive, mind you, I mean, certainly not to the level I had in Kingdom Hearts 1, but yeah, I wanted to at least grind to level 13, because symbolism and, you know, Kingdom Hearts-ish lip service. But at the same time, though, it's, again, it's really the first opportunity that you have, and again, I kind of wanted to make the grindfest a little bit easier on myself for going forward, so again, I'm at least pretty much set for the time being, and yeah, we're gonna do this in first person. We see what Roxas sees. His experiences become ours, and ours become his. Well, I mean, not really, because otherwise, I mean, Roxas would be the one doing the commentary, and Solidus-Skully would be the one fighting nobodies, which I would probably suck at. I mean, there's a reason why I'm not a JRPG adventure guy. But to kind of talk about it in a little bit more lateral terms, again, the Station of Awakening symbolically is usually meant to represent the heart, or I suppose to put it in more simplistic terms, the soul. But yeah, notice in this mysterious place we have 3 Stations of Awakening. Again, these stained glass windows are meant to represent the souls of people, so if one's meant to be for Sora, another for Roxas, then who's the third meant to be? A name's coming to me, but I just can't remember it. Shion. Oh, well, I'm probably just remembering some buggery boo. But anyway, we're about to get our 13th level up, and from this point forth, we can continue our adventures in this mysterious realm. See, look, we're experiencing the pain. And again, the dust, like, I mean, well, the dust and all the nobodies really do have a fair few attacks, and, you know what, I'll delve into the combat system once we get a few more moves under our belt, but, yeah, the reaction command system... Oh, holy shit, I never noticed that about the menu before, actually. Like, I mean, the split Mickey Mouse heads, that's... Oh, whoa, that's actually quite a cool bit of symbolism. Oh, damn, that's, nice, I never knew about that before. I'll discuss all this shit later, I'm busy being impressed. But, well, anyway, here's a cutscene. After we have Roxas saying K, although, honestly, it sounds kind of like he's saying gay. But here's a cutscene. So, much in the same vein as Sora fighting Darkseid, which contrary to popular belief is not the shadow of the Sora, this is Twilight Thorn. Actually his one and only appearance in the game, and Well, probably not the series, because I'm sure he's probably made at least a cameo on one of the other games, but, yeah, really cool boss design, and actually has a really cool introduction here. One of the more powerful nobodies, and, sadly we don't get to experience that much. This is definitely a more cinematic boss fight, and really only here to introduce us to the reaction commands, which, again, quick time events, but again, unlike a lot of games that use them shittily, like Resident Evil 4 and such, or, again, to use another example, Silent Hill Origins, because, you know, mid-2000s, go figure. Kingdom Hearts 2 actually uses them pretty well. Like, I mean, you pull off some cool shit, but at the same time, it's fully aware that it's cinematic, and, again, doesn't let up the action for a second. But at the same time, like, I mean, the QuickTime events themselves are also, like, brief enough, so that, again, it never really interrupts the gameplay flow, and again, you just... It's just very slick, silky, and again, while a bit of a sign of the time, so to speak, it's really fun. But anyway, now that Twilight Thorn is down for the count for the time being, let's get a few pot shots in, and dear god, I miss Scan. You're not going to be getting it until a little bit later on with Roxas, but yeah, it really becomes noticeable, and again, that's also another thing I can talk about. I mean, we do have like another round of Twilight Thorn to go before we finish this, but yeah, unlike Kingdom Hearts 1, you actually unlock abilities as you progress throughout the game, rather than getting them through specific level ups. So, like, I mean, again, grind as much as you want, but you're not going to be getting specific abilities like Scan until the game deems it necessary, so again, it's worth playing the critical mission path if you want to get specific abilities and equip them and, you know, yada yada yada. But again, this is also where the reaction commands come in a little bit more of working in service of the gameplay. Again, dodging out of the way of Twilight's, well, thorns. And again, trying to dodge all the way up towards his head so that you can get some more damage on him. Again, why Roxas can do this, well, that's to do with his, innate powers. I mean, it's clear that he has the skill to wield the Keyblade, he's got some sort of connection to Sora. But why? And to what capacity? I don't know. It's a really cool boss fight, and I just kinda wish we could see Twilight Thorn again sometime. You know, hang out, go out for some beer, then have a good time. But I suppose it was not meant to be. Whee! And, yeah, again, if you kind of fuck these up, again, you pretty much just have to do them again. You do take a bit of damage, obviously, but, again, like, you're not really penalized too harshly. Unless, of course, you might be playing critical mode, in which case this might end you, but, yeah, again, if you fall into this warpy thing, it pretty much just sends you back and you just gotta do the whole phase over again. And, yeah, Twilight Thorn's pretty much done, but, ooh, fucking hell. Yeah, that dude is fucking dead. Dude just fucking, like... dude broke his neck and he is gone, man. Cobras! Ah!
My name is Namine. Roxas. Do you remember your true name?
Say no more, Namine.
But if no one tells him, Roxas will...
It's best he doesn't know the truth.
Hey, you're that pickpocket. Whoa!
Cypher, strike a pose, you know?
How's this?
That's totally perfect, you know? How about one more, you know?
What's that for?
Keepsake.
Those freaks in the white jumpsuits are gone, you know?
Cakewalk.
What were those things?
Outsiders, that's what. And if they don't wise up to the rules around here, I might have to take disciplinary measures.
Oh yeah, Cypher's always looking after the town, you know?
Hey, no chickening out of the tournament tomorrow.
We'll be waiting, you know?
Shut up, bitch. Oh, but now our friends think we're hanging out with the enemy. Teenage angst. All this and more next time on One Tree Hill.
So, you hung out with Cypher's gang today? No, it's not like that. Oh yeah. How was the beach? Wasn't that today?
We didn't go. It wouldn't be the same without you, right?
Sorry. Hey, how about we go tomorrow? We could get those pretzels and...
I promised I'd be somewhere.
Oh.
You and I have to make the finals. That way, no matter who wins, the four of us split the prize.
Okay, you're on. You two are gonna clean up.
Go get him.
It's a promise. I'm out of here.
Restoration at 48%.